Howdy-ho, Andrew here. Welcome to the Onion Buns and welcome to Let's Talk Oilers. Oilers versus Tampa Bay Lightning. Game 23, November 20th, 2025. So, pre-show. Now, I'm going to remind you people, I write the pre-show before I see the game. So, these are just my thoughts heading into the game. They are not reflective of the game. No roster or lineup changes from last night other than Pickard in net. Listen, if the team, not just the defense, but the team don't show up, give us a 60-minute effort, play defensive hockey in our own zone, the result will be no different than the night before. Tampa is missing 3 of their 4 best defensemen. They are primed for the Oilers to take advantage of them. Now, I will do a caveat of that is they have won 7 of the last 9 games. So even though they're missing their 3 best defensemen, they're still a good team. But the team needs to show up and play like a team. And this includes Knobloch that needs to make lines that are not one-dimensional. Also, Knobloch needs to start holding players accountable. I'm still upset about Bouchard's laughable attempt to play defense on the 4th goal against last night. You know, and here I'll give you a reenactment of how I called that yesterday. I'm going to poke you with my stick. I'm going to poke you. Oh, no. Don't touch me. I just want to poke you. Oh, you went around me. Oh, shucks, darn. I'm just going to stand here. That was Bouchard's effort on the 4th goal. And that 4th goal is basically what killed us last night. All he had to do was step in front of the Capital player. That's it. He didn't need to body check him. All he had to do was step in front of him, and that would have stopped that play dead. But instead, we got I'm going to poke you with my stick. I'm going to poke you with... No, don't touch me. I just want to poke you with my stick. See, I've just tried to poke you with my stick. Yeah, I'm still annoyed with that. That's all, but he wouldn't do it. And don't even get me started on Kulak's play last night. We need a lot more tonight or we will fall 1 game under 500. Yes, we have had a lot of road games, but we also played some of the worst teams in the league, and we have absolutely wasted those gimme points. Like, you look at our schedule over the first 22 games, there's absolutely no reason we don't have 15 wins in regulation. None whatsoever. So it was just announced before the puck drop that McDavid, Rosevich, and Hyman will be our top line. This is what I was asking for last night. And this is what I just mentioned about one-dimensional lines. Savoy, Rosevich, and McDavid made absolutely no sense. It was a one-dimensional skilled line with no net front presence, no physical presence, just 3 puck handlers. And they did nothing yesterday. Nothing at all. So Rosevich, his best chances were when he was not with McDavid and Savoy last night. So I was thrilled to hear that they were putting this first line together because this is exactly the line I said. If I would rather Rosevich be playing with Leon and Podkolzin, but if you have to put Rosevich up with McDavid, I wanted Hyman up there because Hyman will go into the corners, he will win the puck battles, and he will be a net front presence. All right. So, period 1. Oilers goal at 18:28. Frederic from Leon. Leon grabs the puck off the boards and sends it to the slot where Frederic one times for the goal. 1-0 Oilers. Beautiful way to start the game. And it was a gorgeous goal. And Frederic was in the slot. He went to the hard area and he was rewarded for it. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this every single game this year, every single preseason game this year. Even before the preseason, I was talking about if we want to score, we need to get to those hard spots. And that's what Frederic did, and he was rewarded for it. Tampa penalty at 17:49 slashing. Nothing came of the power play, though. Bouchard once again turns over the puck for a Tampa 2-on-1, but Henry busts his ass back to break it up, and that was the best scoring chance of the power play. According to Sportsnet, 8 minutes into the first period, the Oilers are winning 1-0 despite neither team having a shot on net. I mentioned this the other game because I've been noticing this. Sportsnet has a engineer problem, a personnel problem. There's somebody, I don't know who it is, but somebody on their staff is not on the ball because so many times this year, it's like no shots on net are being recorded, or the time clock isn't even on the screen. That's all engineer stuff behind the scene, and I don't know who it is, but Sportsnet seems to have a real problem. I just found it funny. 8 minutes in, and it's like 1-0 Oilers, shot on net, 0-0. How would you work that out for Vasilevsky's save percentage? All right, anyway, Tampa player Douglas hammers Wallman. It was a clean hit, but who was very slow getting up. Like he got up and he was wobbling. I thought he had a concussion when I saw him. I thought he had a concussion. Turns out it was his leg that was bothering him. He wasn't able to put full weight on his leg. But as wobbly as he was, I thought he was concussed. Nurse comes in and challenges Douglas. Now, this is such BS. Nurse comes in. Him and Douglas, eyes meet. They both drop their gloves at the same time, and it wasn't much of a fight. They were both trying to jockey for position and slipping. The ice was really bad. Both of them were slipping, and they both went down, and it got broken up. So Tampa gets 5 minutes for fighting. Yeah. Nurse, however, gets 2 for instigator, 5 for fighting, and a 10-minute misconduct. Are you bleeping kidding me, officials? It was a mutual fight. There was no instigator. They both dropped their gloves at the same time. They both squared off. This is just ridiculous. What a garbage call. Tampa power play at 6:59. Oilers kill the penalty. Woolman's not hurt, as I thought. He was so wobbly getting up and slowly getting off the ice. The trainer had to come out and everything and help him off the ice. I didn't expect him back, but he stayed on the bench, and then at every whistle, he'd go and he'd do a little lap, in front of the bench and then go back on the bench. He didn't play for the rest of the first period, but, he was doing a little lap. So that's when we figured out it was his leg that must have got pinched on the board or something, and he was trying to loosen it up. Yeah, what I wrote is I doubt we see him until the second period. With Darnell gone for 17 minutes, which takes him into halfway through the second period, it's a good thing we're at 7Ds dressed, because we're down Wallman, we're down Nurse, so we're down to 5D, even though we had 7 dressed. Oiler penalty, Regula slashing at 2.4 seconds left in the first period. End of the first, shots on goal were 12-7 for the Oilers. 1-0 Oilers. It was a great period. They came out and they played for the full 20 minutes. That's what I wrote is that's what we've been waiting for. Excellent period by the Oilers. They supported each other and their goalie. I can't stress this enough. Everybody on the radio, the usual talking heads are all talking about, Pickard. And Pickard had a great game. Don't get me wrong. Pickard had a fantastic game. But a lot of that game was because for the first time this season, you saw a team effort in our defensive zone. They were back checking, they were blocking shots, they were keeping shots to the outside. They were giving Pickard they were clearing the slot, they were clearing rebounds. They were giving Pickard a chance to see the puck. And if you do that for Pickard or Skinner, their save percentage is going to rise dramatically. We have not seen this team do that for 22 games prior to this game. They literally were leaving their goalies out to hung out to dry for the first 22 games. And then all the toxics out there, oh, whoa, Stu can't, we got to trade Stu or Pickard sucks. No, we need the team to play a team game. And that's what they did in the first period. And it was beautiful to watch. They supported each other and their goalie, and they worked hard when in the defensive zone. 2 more periods with this effort, and they will be rewarded. Second period, successful kill of Regula's penalty. Wallman's back taking normal shifts. Oilers penalty at 10:32 tripping by Kulak. We killed that off, but at the end of that, Nurse was finally allowed back at 8:28. Wallman takes another puck to the leg. Oh, poor guy's legs are taking a beating today. And believe it or not, he came back from this too, but he did not finish the game. He came back this second time. He took a couple more shifts and then he was done. His legs must be black and blue. But like I said, everybody was buying in. He took that puck blocking a shot. And as painful as it is, that's what we need from our team, night in and night out. This is why we carry 7 defensemen. In case there's little nicks in now, he'll be ready to go on Saturday, I guarantee it. But he was doing what was needed, and this was his best defensive game this season. Tampa penalty at 4:24, interference, and that was the end of the second. Shots on goal were 17-19 Tampa. So you saw Tampa starting to gain momentum in the second period. It was obvious that the Oilers were getting tired. And remember, this is a back-to-back. And the trip from Washington to Tampa is not a 2-hour jaunt. So the trip was, and everything was they were getting tired. You could see it. So you expected there was going to be a lull in the third. Third period. Oh, shots on goal. Yeah. Third period. Wallman not on the bench for the third. That's not a huge surprise, as was hobbled twice this game. Tampa comes out strong. They dominated the third period. And Pickard comes up huge 3 times in a row, like it was a shooter's gallery on Pickard, and he was just flipping and flopping and making the saves. Regula takes a hard slap shot straight to the cheek, right under his visor, straight on the cheek. Like at first, I don't know how he didn't get a broken cheekbone. I really don't. Like, even Tampa players, as soon as he took that puck, everyone stopped playing. And they went over to see if he was okay, because he dropped. Regula gets up on his own strength, but he was wobbly. And that, I mean, come on, people, that's understandable. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't return for this game. Oilers now down 2 defensemen, Regula and Wallman. Thank God we went 11-7 for this game. What I wrote is, okay, we got a nail biter going where both teams are playing hard. Now, the Oilers were tired. They weren't getting any offensive chances in the third, but they were still battling hard defensively. And they were blocking shots. They were playing physical. They were doing everything. They just didn't have the gas to really go hard offensively in the third period. I'm not exaggerating here. If we got this effort in the first 22 games, we would be something like 16-6 or better this season. I'm not kidding. If the Oilers give us this effort that they gave us tonight, every game, they are going to win, I would say 66 to 75% of their games. No word of a lie. And remember, this was a back-to-back, so they were fading in this game. They were tired, and it was showing they were tired. It's all about effort, and they were giving us an effort tonight. Regula makes a liar of me. He's back on the bench. Regula is one tough SOB. Like I said, I saw that. I thought broken cheekbone. I really did. I didn't expect him back, and he came back. Then I wrote, the boys are feeling it tonight. Evan Bouchard is throwing body checks. No, you didn't mishear me, people. Evan Bouchard is throwing body checks. And I'm not talking a little rub out. I'm talking an actual open ice full body check. A hit. I can't honestly remember the last time I saw Evan Bouchard throw a real body check. It's been that long. And I'm not talking this year. I'm talking years. I can't remember when he did it. So yeah, the whole team was buying in tonight. Tampa is pushing hard. Tampa gets their goal at 2:32 left in the third period. So Stu got within 2.5 minutes of getting a shutout. And I'm going to blame this on exhaustion because Nick Paul came in. Now, Nick Paul is a beast. He's a big player. He's a strong player. And he came in and he muscled his way to the front of the net and roofed it. But if you watch the replay, this was one of the few times where our forwards, McDavid particularly, was at the blue line and he was sucking wind. He had no energy to go chasing to back check. He was gassed. And I think that, everybody, Stauffer was talking about, well, I don't think it was a very good goal. And, they were talking about Nurse again, because I've gone over this before. It's always Nurse. It's always Skinner. It's always Pickard, I think this was nobody's fault. I think everyone was gassed. They had nothing else to give. And if this wasn't a back-to-back, I wouldn't be cutting them a slack. but this was a back-to-back, and they had been playing hard all game. They had been giving me what I had been asking for all season long, a 60-minute effort. So I am not going to badmouth any one of them for this goal. You know, the fresher player who is a monster, he bulldozed his way in and he made an opportunity for himself. Well, the Oilers, they just, you know, they had gone, well, they'd basically gone 57 and a half minutes and they had nothing else to give at this point. A timeout by the Oilers as Oilers look at the play. Now, this play prior to 2 years ago, this is offside all day long. This is that weird rule where you can be offside and the guy can shoot the puck in, but as long as you don't touch the puck, he can tap up. And it was like that close to the tap up. So Knobloch didn't challenge, and that was the right call based on that stupid rule. But yeah, it was the tying goal with 2.5 minutes left. So that was the end of the third. Shots on goal. You ready for this? 22 for the Oilers. So the Oilers got 5 shots in the third period. 33 for Tampa. So Tampa got, what did I say was at the end of the second? 19. So they got 14 shots in the third period to our 5. That's how one-sided the third period was. Overtime. Oh my God, how did we not score? Nurse shoots. The rebound, Vasilevsky stops it. It bounces into the crease. It's sitting behind Vasilevsky in the crease. Rosevich comes in and he shoots it, or he hits it, and Vasilevsky just sort of blindly shoves out his glove and it hits his glove and doesn't go in. If Rosevich could have raised it that much, the game's over. But as we see this time and time again, people, this leads to Tampa having a breakaway going the other way. Because we got Nurse down, we got Rosevich down, we got our other player in the slot. It's a breakaway. Tampa scores at 3:17 of overtime. Tampa wins 2-1. Shots on goal were 23-35. So Oilers got 1 shot in overtime and Tampa got 2 shots in overtime. What a finish. What a finish. These are the types of games you're okay with 1 point. I'm not upset that we got 1 point. Like, I would have loved 2 points. I would have loved the regulation win. Like, I can't begin to tell you how much it annoys me that Calgary has 1 more regulation win than we do this year so far. We have 4 and the Heat, they have 5. Now, they're in the bottom of the league because they have 5 wins and then nothing. We have 9, like our record now is 9-9-5, so we're at 23 points, whereas Calgary's at like 12 or something. I don't know. This is how we need the Oilers to play going forward. You know, okay, we didn't get the result tonight, but we got the effort. We got a 60-minute game, and as I said, if we get this effort every night, we are going to win 66 to 75% of our games, period. Anyone whining about this game is not a hockey fan. I don't care if you're talking about the officiating. I don't care if you're talking about the goaltending. I don't care if you're talking about defense. This was an awesome hockey game. And there is absolutely, the Oilers can carry their heads high and be proud of the effort they put forth. And nobody should be trying to take that away from them. If this wasn't back-to-back, the third period might have been different. It was obvious the Oilers were exhausted come the third period. Hence why they only managed 6 shots from the end of the second to the end of OT. 3 stars. Number 1, obviously, Kelvin Pickard. He came within 2.5 minutes of a shutout, and he was phenomenal in the third period. Like, he was really good in the first and second period because, as I said, the Oilers were supporting him. But he was phenomenal in the third period when they were sucking air and gassed, and they just had nothing else to give. I'm going to give the second and third star to Regula and Wallman. The slugs, there were no slugs in this game. Period. None. Truth is, Pickard was the star of this game. I gave Regula and Wallman stars for gutting it out. Most players don't return after that stuff. Like, Wallman couldn't even put weight on his leg and he returned twice. But he had to throw in the towel and leave that third time and just say, no, I'll try to be ready for Saturday. which I have, unless I hear of an injury, I have no doubt that he will be ready to go on Saturday. And as I said, for Regula, I've literally seen people get broken cheekbones from that in senior hockey and junior B. This is the freaking NHL where they're shooting 90 miles an hour. And it was a hard slap shot. Like I said, when it hit them, both teams stopped playing. Nobody even tried to go for the puck. They all rushed to see if he was okay. So the fact that he came back from that is just, it's amazing. And he deserves a star for that. I'm sorry. If you show that much gumption and grit and intestinal fortitude, you get a star. Simple as that. There was no slugs. This team, tired in the third, but they still battled. And that's all I've been asking for. Effort, passion, intensity. Sometimes it's not going to go your way. I'm okay with that as long as you give the effort. Far too many games this season, I've been able to sit here and tell you guys, I don't think there was much effort. I'm not saying that this game. They gave us everything they had to give us, and I applaud them 1,000%. This is Oilers hockey. This was the best Oilers effort I've seen all season, bar none. Took 23 games, but this was it. Now, hopefully, this was a wake-up for the team, and we see this effort night in and night out for the remainder of the season. Oilers are now 9-5. Next game is Saturday versus Florida Panthers, 5 p.m. on Sportsnet 360. And that's my video for today. A hell of a lot more upbeat than the first 22 games have been, wasn't it? I mean, I'm thrilled with this game. We only got 1 point, but I'm thrilled with the effort the boys gave us. That's hockey. That's the way hockey's supposed to be played. That's what I want to see nightly. And yeah, so that's my video for tonight. If you like this video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders. And I do appreciate it. Takes 1 second to subscribe. Costs you absolutely nothing. Helps me immensely. Just hit the subscribe button on the bottom of the screen. You know, I am so excited about this game, I forgot to put on my hat. Always feel free to leave a comment. Please come in the comments. Tell me, did you enjoy this game as much as I did? Like, I loved this game. I really did. This is what I want to see from this team. They do this nightly, and I will be the biggest booster and rah-rah guy you got going. Plus, leaving a comment really does help me with the YouTube algorithm and getting more eyes on my videos. And as always, pew, 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.